In this episode of Business, we're going to take a look at putting boundaries in place and revisit how to say no, but more importantly, how to renegotiate some things perhaps you've said yes to that now you wish you wouldn't have. Now, a few episodes ago, we talked about the power of no, right? We talked about why don't we say no? We don't want to hurt people's feelings. We don't want people to believe that we're weak, make people believe that we can't do it all. But I really believe we realized that saying no is powerful, that it actually helps us even be more successful in our business. And it is definitely not a sign of weakness whatsoever. Because when we get stretched too thin, and we're not doing anything well. We're exhausted, we're tired, we're emotionally eating, we're short with our family. And you know what? In our business, things are slipping. So let's talk about, again, the importance of in the language of no. And you know why I brought it up this week? Just 3 days ago, I received another email that said, Tracey, would you please give me those words again on what you said and the power of no? I've been sharing it with my friends and family, she said literally, and we need it so bad. So today, I thought I would reiterate that. In case you did miss it, I want to reiterate. How do you say no, first of all, without feeling bad and without the other person, taking it personally? So remember, it is such things as, I would love to right now, but I really just don't have the time. I'm sure you can appreciate that. As I said, when you say, I'm sure you can appreciate that at the end of any sentence, most people will look at you and say, yes, I can appreciate that, because they're in the same boat as you. Perhaps you say something like, for this period of time, I'm going to concentrate on, you fill in the blank. Maybe you say, for this period of time, I'm going to concentrate on my family right now. I'm sure you can appreciate that. Do you see that being able to say no in a way like this, it's okay. You feel good about it. The other person feels good about it. Maybe you even say something like, with my other commitments right now, it just doesn't work for me. I'm sure you can appreciate that. Again, everybody can relate that they were all stretched with commitments. And again, you're not personally saying no to them because you don't want to help them or you don't like them, but it's from a place of understanding. All right, so I wanted to make sure that we revisited that, because really I want to talk to you about renegotiating your commitment, because this was the biggest one. I used to do a lot of workshops on this. I'd be speaking and I have lots of women and men in the room and be like, oh, okay, Tracey, I totally hear what you're saying. I get it now. But now I need to renegotiate some things perhaps I've said yes to that I wish I wouldn't have, because I want to put those boundaries in place. I want to be able to serve my business, myself, and my family. So I've kind of put together a little bit of an outline. I want to be very methodical here with you and what I really thought about, what I really would teach. And one, when you have to go back and renegotiate something, the first thing that you're going to want to do is take responsibility and explain the shift. All right? Now, I'm going to give you an example here in just a moment of what this is going to look like. But I want to plant these seeds with you. So when I give you this example, you can truly see what it looks like. And then you're going to be able to add it into your life and perhaps renegotiate some of those things that you need to. And the next thing that you're going to want to do, make sure that you acknowledge that perhaps there's going to be some something from it. Maybe it's going to, hinder the other person. Acknowledge perhaps that it's going to add a little bump in the road. And you're going to see what I'm talking about here. You are going to want to renegotiate a different outcome. All right. So again, bear with me here in this process. And of course, you're going to want to just be graceful and firm and honest. So I'm going to give you a real live example of someone who came to me and I really need to help them with it. So she said to me, and maybe some of you are going to be able to relate to this. She said, Tracey, I signed up for 3 committees on the PTA. It is stretching me way too thin. What was I thinking? And I had to start laughing because how many times all of us have thought to ourselves, what was I thinking? And I said to her, okay, what can you do for the PTA? If 3 committees is too much, Can you then give to one committee? She's like, absolutely, I can give to one, but not three. So I said, okay. So I said, listen, you're gonna first need to be able to acknowledge this and say to them, I realize that I have volunteered for 3 committees on the PTA, but since then, things have shifted in my life and I need to be able to refocus on my family or commitments or whatever it was. Remember when I said about acknowledgement? And then I said to her, you're gonna wanna say, now I realize that this is gonna put you perhaps in a little bit of a bad spot. Remember when I said you're gonna say, you're gonna have to acknowledge like this could be a little bit a bump in the road for that person. But then you're gonna wanna help come up with a solution. I said to her, could you email friends? Could you help the president of the PTA find people to take your place? She's like, I could do that. I said, then you're gonna need to say to her next, it happened to be the president was a woman, I am willing to be able to find replacements for the other 2 committees. Now I want you to know I'm going to stick with my committee, right? The committee of whatever her choice was, I can't remember, but that I'm gonna help you with this, and I appreciate your support and understanding on this. But did you see how just acknowledging it, staying firm to it, coming up with a solution, and then really, again, just making sure that they understand? I just encourage you, what is on your plate right now that you say, oh my gosh, why did I say yes to that? It sounded like a really good idea at the time, right? We've all been there before. Oh, sounds like an amazing idea. Of course, I want to be like Superwoman and help everyone. But now you realize that it really is not serving you well. I want you to think about what serves you well. What gives you right now on your plate that little bit of that pit in the stomach that you know that you need to let go of. I want to encourage you again to go back, use this formula, renegotiate your commitments. Listen, this is your business and your life. I believe in you, and I look forward to our next episode where we keep adding on to these amazing behaviors so that you have the absolute amazing life and business that you desire.